Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News. I'm your host, Ellie, and boy, what a storm we had. Took me out for 3 days. Uh, I don't even know what to say about it, except for it was, wow, horrific. But I do thank the linemen. Um, I have a friend named Taz. She goes by Taz, and her husband's a lineman, and I so thank these linemen for how quick. I mean, even though they put ruts in my yard's pretty much tore apart. In fact, a lot of the pictures were from the news, and my backyard is in the news of how bad it was. One of the areas badly hit. I'll get into a lot of that later. Uh, Boy, Karen, did you miss me? I know I missed me. I kept coming in going, oh, no power. And the hotel we stayed at, we had to, oh boy, had to pay extra for the dog. Uh, there was a lot of linemen in it there, and I could see the Walmart parking lot with about 80 trucks. I I quit about 80, and there was still a lot more in the Walmart parking lot. So we had linemen from all over the country show up to put us back in order. This is a very small town, so uh, Australia got hit with a 4.5 earthquake. Yeah, it might pop up, Karen, on my earthquake map, because I got that. I got the weather. I got earthquakes. I got chimpanzees. And this was odd. Uh, this is, I seen it, and I got tearful over this because it was freedom for the first time. Freedom for the first time in their lives. And it's amazing. So I got a clip on that. Um, Lots of stuff today. Madonna in ICU. I thought first thing I thought was drugs, and then I thought, oh, maybe the pandemic, and then I thought maybe I don't know. No, I don't know. I think she was dehydrated, but she ended up in ICU. So Madonna, they said she's 61 years old. How come I don't look that good, Karen? Susan, how come when we're 60 we don't look as good as Madonna or even Tina Turner? But boy, she had some legs. uh, so Williams, and who let the electrons out? Yeah, boy, we got hit. Did you see the green sky? Well, I'll get to that in a little bit, but I want to bring in, look at there, it's Miss Davis to tell us how bad it is in the South. Uh, we've been waiting on all this rain, but we didn't want rain like this. So here we go with Miss Davis.
Well, no break in the heat. We're likely going to continue to see these excessive heat warnings continue through the weekend and even into next week. So here's what we have going on for today. Now, under this ridge of high pressure, temperatures continue to run as much as 10 to even 25 degrees above average. So the heat goes nowhere this weekend and even into the holiday. These heat indices are still going to be brutal. And the southeast, you're in on it as well, up through the Tennessee Valley. So Memphis, the feel like temperature for you on Friday, very dangerous. 113 is expected. Saturday in Atlanta, 105. This is going to be some really tough stuff. You have to limit your outdoor activity. Now, into next week, especially going into the 4th of July, the heat sticks around, but that ridge does start to break down some, and that will help back the temperatures off as we get into the later half of next week.
Boy, Karen and Susan, boy, over there, let's see, all the way up the East Coast, you guys are going to be seeing 100. Wow. Now, for us, everybody's like freaky over this. And it's like, no, we get 100 degrees, usually real close to 4th of July. And then we see 1 week of heat in August, um, over 100. So this isn't unusual for us. I don't know why they're making such a big deal out of all of this. She's supposed to stop in Pittsburgh during her tour. Well, go see her. Who, Madonna? No, don't go see Madonna. No, boy, she does the nasties on the stage. I like Madonna when she's not on stage. You know, she is the only one I didn't see during my concert years. I seen Cyndi Lauper though. I thought Cyndi Lauper was great. I don't know. I mean, Madonna, I guess, put her out or something. Um, so we seen temperatures. It was about 100, and we had a heat index of 120. Now yesterday was worse. We seen a heat index of 134. Uh, thank God I was in the in where it was cool, but I can feel the effects over the 3 day issue that we had here. I was in the heat a lot, and it was 90s, hundreds, and the dog did well. She's happy to be home. She's in her spot. She went and gathered up every single one of her toys. She knows exactly where they're at. Um, but I do have a lot of damage here. So let's I want to get on with what I have here. Um, we have the first tropical storm going into a hurricane. Now, so far, it hasn't made landfall, and it looks like well, let's see, we will have. I'll just go ahead and play the clip. I got lots of clips today.
The first named storm in the eastern Pacific. This is Tropical Storm Adrian. It is forecast to do some strengthening and expected to become a hurricane on Wednesday. Throughout the end of the week, we'll see additional strengthening and then some weakening by the weekend. But guess what? There is something else behind Adrian that bears watching. Where that red X is, that is forecast to do some additional development, and that system could become a depression closer towards the end of the week. So we will keep you posted. Again, right now the focus is going to be on Adrian and its strengthening. Quite a bit of showery weather and some of those showers, and certainly, of course, some rough seas reaching the coastline. The next name on the list for the second system that bears watching, well, it could become Beatrice.
Beatrice, huh? Why did they change them or what? Did they change the hurricane season's names? I thought it was something different. Yeah, I seen that and I went, huh? I thought, what'd they do? Flip it all around again? And Eugene, really? I don't think that's right. I think she's got her stuff wrong. All right, the earthquakes. Oh boy, where'd you say, Karen? Did it hit Australia? No. I'm gonna reload the page and see. No, it doesn't have nothing for Australia. But you said it was a 4.2, 4.5. See, because I don't have nothing. Now, right around the Fiji region and the islands, Lavuka, and then we had Loyalty, all of them with fours. Um, Now, we did have, let's see, we had one down, we called the Bird's Head. That was 5.1 down there. Um, Oddly enough, we had the Philippines with a 5.2. Um, and then Curl Islands, 4.6 are all fours. We had one in the very tippy top of Alaska, Katavik, that was a 3.0. Only one really on the Aleutian Islands, and that was Chennai, Alaska. That was 2.6. Hawaii is still very active with 3.1. And Kalua, I think I'm Kona, Hawaii, that was a 3.1. The states, nothing in California along the western coast. It's very quiet. So maybe we'll see something tomorrow. Morro, Colorado, El Morro. He felt a little bit of rumbling at 2.6. Then we go down to western Texas. I love how they do that, Karen. They just say western Texas, or they say Montana, or they'll say Oregon. That tells us a whole bunch, unless we, swoop down and take a closer look at exactly where it's at. That was only a 2.5. And then we had one straight down into Guatemala. Some over in the islands, Mona Passage. Then we had one with the Virgin Islands. Oh, both of them are threes. Then a lonely one down in Chile. That was only a 4.3. Now we had two of them over in Turkey. So is Turkey going to become active again? You know, I go by the news, folks, because you know when Turkey acts up, they get earthquakes. Oh, I'm still trying to figure that one out. So does Iran, and then the biggest one, well, between that and the one over in the by the in Indonesia, was this one, Tajikistan. That was a 5.0. So I think they're just kind of calm right now, even though we had 34 of them. Nothing really past fives and a lot of fours. So, uh, see, Karen says, see, I told you it wouldn't show it. That's it. You know, Karen, watch, it'll show up tomorrow. You know, when I'm here tomorrow to do the weather and lifestyle news, it'll be there tomorrow. What, a day late? Huh? Come on, USGS, get on the ball. Get on the ball with this stuff. All right. Um, the chimps. I can't. Um, let's see. I'm trying to get the best picture of this. Um, okay, now this is about a minute long, and what it is these chimps have been locked in cages for a very long time, and they have moved these chimps to a bigger enclosure, and they have a fence, but they've never seen the sky or grass or any of it. So this is their first time ever to see um, uh, life in general. So here you go. Nothing but blue skies. Do I see blue birds singing a song? Nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Blue sky. I'm afraid if I do the music, they're going to get me for copyright. So. Save the Chimps. Wow. I hope you guys really enjoyed that because I know I did. You know, you wonder about that. Let me get back to the um now one of them, the chimpanzee, 28-year-old who spent life looking through the bars and saw open sky for the first time. Uh, they spent their life at a biomedical research laboratory in New York. That's what they were. That's why they were in cages. That's why they were inside. And these were rescued from a biomedical lab. And that's why it's so. I mean, once you know this, then it makes a lot of sense of how happy these chimps were. They were transferred to the Wildlife Way Station, an animal sanctuary in Los Angeles. Um, Now, there was when it closed though, Vanilla, they say, along with other 42 other chimpanzees needed to be rehomed. So they let these chimpanzees loose. Vanilla and some of her family members, including her sister Shake, they say, flew across the country in a FedEx plane, then rode into climate controlled semi truck. to save the Chimps sanctuary in Fort Pierce. After quarantine, they were able to enjoy a 3-acre island. Yeah, they went to a resort. So, and a lot of them hadn't seen their family members. You go look at the videos on this, folks, because there's lots of them out there. And they're hugging each other. And some of them, when they see somebody come out of the doors, they look really surprised and they run up and hug them. These are family members they haven't seen in years because the cages, they had so many from so many different families in the biomedical lab that they could hear each other, but they could never see each other. So, all right, I'm going to move on. So, save the chimps. All right, my storm damage here, folks. I'm just going to go over um, one of the houses you've seen crushed. It's right. A lot of the damage you've seen in the pictures is real close to my house. Um, you've seen the tree that fell over. That's about not even a half a mile from here, maybe less. Um, and the tree's bigger than the house. Was bigger than the house. They said our winds were 80 miles per hour with 127 wind gusts per hour. Um, they are now trying to say it was a tornado that never touched the ground. Thank God, it just touched the treetops. So it tore a house that's kind of kitty corner from me. His tree broke in half, and it wasn't struck with lightning. There's no burn marks. The sky was green. I mean, I can attest to that. I went out and looked, and it was dark. It was green, and just it started pouring down rain, and and then our power went out. We lost power for 3.5 days. Uh, it was definitely something. My daughter's house, hers was hit. It ripped her power box off of her side of her house. Um, our poles were bent over about 9 foot, one direction. The winds went one way, then they switched and went another direction, then they went in another direction. And they're thinking that, like with the triangle of the few, that was the heart of the tornado. Um, Now, 2, 3 blocks away, wasn't even touched. It just certain areas. It was like it kind of bounced around, but you could see a pattern when you look overhead. When helicopters, I wish I could have got the pictures from the helicopters. Um, when they flew over and they showed it live on the news, you could see it was almost like skipping, like a tornado would. Um, so, um, to move on, um, bobcat fever is a fast acting illness that could claim your cat's life. And where is it from? Ticks. If you let your cats outside, folks, please check them. The ticks and the mosquitoes with malaria now, we have to really watch the ticks this year. With the drought and dry weather, you have to have frozen ground to be able to kill the ticks, the chiggers, and the larvae, and also even mosquitoes. Now, we didn't have that harsh of a winter in the south or even out west. So be very careful. Check your cats. If you feel a little bump, make sure. And it's so easy. Don't just grab some tweezers, get closest to the head, and yank that little sucker out. There you go. Chiggers, oh boy, chiggers. I don't know if everybody has them, but we got them here. Ooh, they're saying alcohol for it. But chiggers, oh boy, they just bite and bite and bite. They're little itty bitty ugly mites, and boy, you get hit with chiggers. So your animals can get them. So if they just seem to like have bites all over, they say just get a little dab of like a cotton ball and put some alcohol on them. There you go. Alcohol, not no, not the kind you drink. No, beer isn't going to work, folks. You just get a drunk cat. Linda, well, I have to throw Linda up here because Where has Linda been lately? Boy, Linda, we were so worried, or at least I was. I got a hold of her and said, "Where are you? You okay?" Yeah. Remember, I kept saying, "Where's Linda G?" I know we got banned, but we didn't ban Linda. All right. So, um, boy, folks, this story here is about the janitor. This is just, how many times do you hear this beeping thing and it's going and going and going and going and going and going and going? And you're like, you know, I'm getting tired of it. And there's a switch, I can flip it off. Um, everybody, even like with the smoke detector, everybody just takes the battery out of it. It's like you just get a little smoke in the kitchen, it's beep, 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 and you're just done with the beeps after what, 3, 4 minutes. Karen, how long can you go with the smoke detector? I go about 10 seconds, and I'm like, oh, no, 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 there ain't no fire. The time to get rid of that. Well, um, so this janitor found himself in, I don't know, I'm not even going to say it's a pickle. Um, and I don't even think it was a whoopsie or a oops, or he just turned it off. He turned the noise off. But basically, he turned off the alarm on a freezer. And the alarm is supposed to go off when samples inside the freezers reach a temperature that it shouldn't be. The freezer of beeping should have been under repair. Not it should have been not just turned off. And sometimes you can hit a mute button, and every 5 to 10 seconds it'll flash. But he turned the whole thing off because he was annoyed. Well, uh, it basically he lost his job over this, and he caused $1 million worth of damage. Um, because and he said he was sorry for what he did. Um, uh, let's see. I'm trying to tell you what it was he did. Um, Basically, everything that was in there was samples, blood, different types of samples. It was basically research of 20 years. And when he turned off the beep, it turned off the freezer. It had all this research in it for 25 years, basically. Uh, and he the freezer's majority of specimens were compromised. He just not only that, but he destroyed and rendered all of it unsalvageable, demolishing more than 20 to 25 years research. Boy, he had to pay for it. But the beeping, the beeping. Uh, Boy, Karen says not even a millisec. Yeah, but when you work somewhere and you got them things going on, I know the hospitals got them too, where there's certain people in the control offices that, they get these beeping, and it's, like elevators, or it could be flooding or whatever in the hospitals. And how long, do they have to do it? Well, they have to do it until it's fixed. So this guy shouldn't have turned it off. So it must have been something like it said, it needed repaired. But was he negligent because he turned it off? And how many repair orders got put in on that the company itself ignored? It doesn't say. Boy, this would have been great for a Monday show for Justice for All. But I just wanted to let y'all know about that one. That one kind of got to me. Uh, he turned he turned it off and everything thawed. It's like my power went out and I lost my fridge and freezer and lots of food. Yeah, I opened things and I looked and I went, oh dear Lord, help me out on this one. Opened my freezer and went, oh my gosh. Okay, let's just throw everything in the garbage and we'll replace it. You know, But yeah, so you turn the freezer off and you lose a lot of stuff very quickly. All right, Madonna hospitalized. Oh, she's not 61, she's 64. Oops. Retract that one. I was wrong. I tried to make her younger. I tried to make her a few years younger, but she's 64. Um, she They say she's alert and recovering. Okay. After being found unresponsive, they said. She was admitted to the ICU. Um, Her manager said that the singer's in good condition. She developed a serious bacterial infection which led to several days in the ICU. However, she is still under medical care. A full recovery is expected. We hope. It hadn't been the same since the pandemic, folks. I'm not going to go anywhere with that one. All right, so Saharan dust, okay, is coming across the United States now from the Atlantic, and they say it's going to collide. Karen and uh, uh, Susan, you guys on the West Coast might get it first. They say that the sand and the smoke will collide and it will make it worse on the East Coast. So, uh, look, oh boy. They said they released satellite images on dust coming out of the Atlantic, but it's from Africa. And the smoke from Canada, it will collide. Wow. We don't need that. Definitely. Um, there was let's get to something better, some good news. How about the guys that caught the fish? I love to fish. This one here in North Carolina, they were dropping squid about 2,000 feet below, and they know there's bigger fish down deeper now. And what they caught was it's called a pomfret. It weighed 25 pounds, and it is a fish that's prehistoric, that's never been caught. They don't have them caught very often. So it is a prehistoric fish. Now, see, that's why we need to go deeper in the oceans. Too bad that sub didn't make it, get down to the Titanic. We need to start getting deeper in the oceans to find the stuff. I'm with people with Loch Ness and Nessie. We don't know what's down there. There's caves all throughout these lakes that these fish and they can go to the deepest, and they're quick. They're quick. So, all right. And not only that, but then in Missouri they caught a frankenfish. And I'm just going to kind of show you the picture of the frankenfish there. He's an ugly little cuss there. He's got teeth. Ugly. So we had a prehistoric and we had a frankenfish this week. Fish day. Go get some fish sticks, Karen. So, um, um, this is they're getting very serious about this artificial sweetener, um, aspartame sweetener. It is definitely a cancer risk, according to the World Health Organization. They say you can find it in your Diet Cokes, your diet drinks. They say there is a huge cancer risk. Is Coca-Cola going to remove it? Are they going to change it? There's a good possibility they may have to. The World Health Organization is basically going to start fining anybody that has it in their products. So cut back on those Diet Cokes. You're going to have to find something else without the aspartame. Please don't drink them, folks. Last thing we need is cancer. All right, so we're down to the funny post. And we have me and William coming up for the World War III report in about 30 minutes. And boy, he says he's got good stuff. I got good stuff. And, we're back. Tomorrow will be trivia. Don't worry, I'm not going to take your trivia. So tomorrow will be trivia. And so uh, the funny post for today: strange facts. Coca-Cola was originally green. Yeah. Every day, more money is printed for Monopoly than the U.S. Treasury. Did you know that the Hawaiian alphabet has 12 letters? Man can read smaller print than women. Get those men to read those. I do. I do. I don't want to get the magnifier out. I don't want to. I never could find my reading glasses. So yeah, but you know what? You know what they say? Women can hear better. That's it. When they're like mumbling, oh yeah, we got ears behind our head and eyes enough to see what the kids are doing in the back seat. City with the most Rolls Royces is Hong Kong. State with the highest percentage of people who walk to work is Alaska. Percentage of Africa that is wilderness is 28%. Average number of people airborne over the United States in any given hour is 1,200. Wow. The youngest pope was 11 years old. These are strange facts. The statue in the park of the person on a horse has both front legs in the air. Um, and it's a person that died in battle. If the horse has one front leg in the air, the person died as a result of wounds. If the horse has all four legs on the ground, the person died of natural causes. I don't know if y'all knew that. If there's statues in the park, think about that one. Something cute you could tell your grandkids. The phrase rule of thumb is derived from an old English law which stated that you couldn't bear your wife with any wider than your thumb. No, come on now. Okay, the name Jeep came from abbreviation used on the Army for General Purpose Vehicle. The cruise line, Queen Elizabeth II, moves only 6 inches for each gallon of water of diesel that it burns. And the only 2 days of the year in which their professional sports game, MLB, NBA, NHL, or NFL, are the day before and the day after Major League All Star games. And that's it. So subscribe, hit the like button, hit that bell. When we're missing for a few days, you're going to have to re hit that bell. Uh, YouTube. Uh, but we're back, and unfortunately, I was hit for 3 days. Uh, and the video of the damage to my neighborhood, and I just want to remind everybody that was my neighborhood. That wasn't a lot of like the whole town of Conway. A lot of that was within a mile radius of my house. I was very fortunate, but I'm always blessed. And I always, like I say, I send my blessings that I get onto you. Thank you for watching and subscribe, hit that like button and, that thumbs up and love us. Uh, we will see you in 30 minutes or we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, folks. And thanks for watching.